Hello everyone, welcome back to Medico Pharma lecture once again. This is Sunil Kumar Shah. Today we are going to continue with our another lecture in pharmaceutical inorganic chemistry, where we will discuss about limit test. Okay, so we have already completed introductory part for limit test, as well as we have already seen limit test for sulfate and limit test for chloride in our previous lecture. So if you have missed it, you can go to our previous lecture under pharmaceutical inorganic chemistry playlist, and from there you can study it. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about limit test for iron and various important questions related to this topic. Okay, so before starting, I just want to inform you that I am suffering from cold and cough. Due to that, my sound quality is altered, and I hope you will excuse for this problem. Okay, now let's start. Okay, so most of you know that iron is a cumulative impurity. What does it mean? It means it may not cause immediate adverse effect, but when it is taken for prolonged duration of time, it will get accumulated in our body and shows toxicity or causes toxicity. Okay, and another problem with this iron is it is easily available in our pharmaceutical preparations, most probably contaminated through water, which is used as a solvent. Okay, so if it is present in large quantity in our pharmaceutical preparation, then what it is going to cause? Okay, so this impurity, if it is present in large quantity, it is going to cause basically two different type of problem. Okay, so first of all, it may interfere with therapeutic value of drug and it can decrease the therapeutic value of drug, and secondly, it can create technical problems during drug formulation. It means this impurity may interact with excipients or drug itself and can cause technical issue during the formulation. Okay, now we will discuss about principle involved in limit test for iron. Okay, so for that we are going to take two Nessler cylinder. One we will mark as sample, another we are going to mark as a standard. Okay, so in sample Nessler cylinder we are going to add sample, and to that we are also going to add thioglycolic acid as a reagent. Okay, apart from that we are also going to add citric acid. Okay, now so this iron, which may be present in sample, will react with thioglycolic acid in presence of citric acid to produce ferrous thioglycolate complex. Now this ferrous thioglycolate complex in presence of ammonia will produce pink purple color. So here this ammonia is making the media alkaline. Okay, and in alkaline media this ferrous thioglycolate will show pink purple color. Now in a standard Nessler cylinder we are going to add ferrous ammonium sulfate as a standard. Okay, so it contain ferrous impurity, okay, which is none, that's why it is a standard. Okay, to this we are also going to add thioglycolic acid. Okay, and we are also going to add citric acid, and this ferrous and thioglycolic acid will react in presence of citric acid to produce ferrous thioglycolate complex. What it is going to produce? It is going to produce ferrous thioglycolate complex, and in presence of ammonia or alkaline media, this is going to give pink purple color, which is a standard color. Okay, now this sample color, okay, and the standard color are going to be compared. Okay, so this is the basic principle involved in limit test for iron. Here ammonia is added to make the media alkaline, because this ferrous thioglycolate complex will show pink purple color in alkaline media and remain colorless in acidic or neutral media, so which we are going to discuss later. Okay, now coming to the citric acid is used to prevent precipitation of iron as its hydroxide. So it will prevent precipitation of iron as its hydroxide when ammonia is added. okay, or upon addition of ammonia. This is also we are going to see later. Okay, now how you will write in exam? Okay, so we will give a topic like limit test for iron, okay, and then below you mention principle, and we are going to write the same format which we have already discussed in previous lectures. Okay, so what we can write? So we'll write like that: the limit test for iron is based upon the reaction between ferrous ion and thioglycolic acid in presence of citric acid to produce ferrous thioglycolate complex, which will produce red or deep purple color in presence of ammonia or alkaline media. Okay, so thus color produced by sample is compared with that of a standard, which is produced by a specific amount of a standard ferrous ammonium sulfate under same reaction condition. So here reaction condition will be same. Okay, so this is the principle. Okay, so this principle format is for every limit test is almost similar. Now we'll write the reaction. Okay, so first of all we'll write the reaction for sample. Okay, so here ferrous present in sample will react with thioglycolic acid COOH CH2SH. Okay, it will react with two molecule, and how we are going to write? We will write like this way. Okay, now here we have to just write the opposite way, CH2 COOH. So here COOH, that carboxylic group is facing opposite side. Okay, now in between we will write iron, ferrous, and from here we will remove one hydrogen and we will make the bond, and from another also similarly. And you also know this sulfur have lone pair, so this lone pair will be shared with iron, okay, which is coordinate bond. Okay, and this will give red or deep purple color in presence of ammonia. Okay, now we will write the name in words. Okay, so don't forget to write the name in words. Okay, otherwise your marks will be reduced. So this is ferrous ion, this is thioglycolic acid, here there will be citric acid, here this is ferrous thioglycolate. Okay, so this is the name reaction. Okay, now suppose if iron impurity is present in form of ferric ion, then what will happen? So for that nothing to be worried, because this thioglycolic acid, okay, we will write two molecule of thioglycolic acid in the straight form. Okay, what they will do, these two hydrogen will go outside as a nascent hydrogen and it will become like SCH2 COOH, SCH2 COOH. Okay, and two nascent hydrogen will come outside. Now this nascent hydrogen, before that we will write the name. So this is thioglycolic acid, this is disulfide glycolic acid, and this is nascent hydrogen. Now if ferric ion is present in our sample, it will reduce to ferrous in presence of nascent hydrogen. Okay, and this ferrous will react in the same manner we have already seen. Now we'll write the standard reaction. Here this is ferrous present in our standard and react with two molecule of thioglycolic acid, and in same way we are going to write the reaction. Okay, here SH should face opposite direction and COOH face also opposite direction. So now from here one hydrogen is gone and negative charge will develop. Similarly from here also negative charge will develop, and this negative and one positive from iron, and here negative one positive, they will cancel each other and they will make covalent bond. And this sulfur have lone pair, they will share with iron and they will make coordinate bond. Now this is ferrous thioglycolate complex, which will produce pale pink or purple color in presence of ammonia. Now we'll write the name in words. So this is ferrous ammonium sulfate, this is thioglycolic acid in presence of citric acid, here citric acid will be there, and this is ferrous thioglycolate complex. Okay, here already ammonia is there. Okay, now we will write the notes. Okay, so generally a question will come, why citric acid is used in limit test for iron. Okay, so it is very important question. So what you have to write, you have to write like citric acid is used to prevent the precipitation of iron as its hydroxide when ammonia is added. Okay, so how we'll write the reaction, we'll write like this: ammonia, when it is added, it will react with water to give ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH, and this ammonium hydroxide will react with ferrous or ferric to give ferrous hydroxide, FeOH2 or FeOH3 if it is ferric. Okay, now we'll write the name in word. This is ammonia, water, ammonium hydroxide, and this is ammonium hydroxide. Here it is ferrous or Fe+3, that is ferric. This is ferrous hydroxide, FeOH2 is ferrous hydroxide, and FeOH3 is ferric hydroxide. Okay, so this ferrous or ferric hydroxide is soluble in citric acid. Okay, so citric acid solubilizes this precipitate and hence it will prevent. That's why it is used in limit test for iron. Okay, now there is one more question which generally come like, why ammonia is used in limit test for iron. Okay, so what is the cause of using ammonia? Okay, so the answer is ammonia, that is NH3, is added to make the medium or solution alkaline. So why we have to make alkaline? Because ferrous thioglycolate complex will give pink or purple color in alkaline media and remain colorless in acidic or neutral media. What does it mean? This ferrous thioglycolate complex gives pink purple color only in alkaline media, but it will give no color in neutral media or acidic media. Okay, now we will write reaction. So here this ferrous will react with 2 molecules of thioglycolic acid in presence of citric acid. Here we are going to write CH2 COOH. Okay, and another molecule just write in opposite direction. Okay, and in the center you mention ferrous. Now this remove these two hydrogen from both carboxylic acid group and make 2 bond, and you know the sulfur have lone pairs and they will share with iron. Now we'll write the name. This is ferrous, this is thioglycolic acid, this is ferrous thioglycolate complex, because it has covalent bond as well as coordinate bond. And if you'll see this ferrous thioglycolate complex in acidic or neutral media, and in another we have alkaline media, that is ammonia is added, so it remain colorless in presence of acidic media or neutral media and change into pink or purple color in alkaline media or in presence of ammonia. Now coming to procedure. Okay, so in procedure we are going to take 2 Nessler cylinder. One we will mark as the standard, another we are going to mark as sample. Okay, so in a standard Nessler cylinder we are going to add 2 ml of a standard ferrous ammonium sulfate. Okay, to this standard Nessler cylinder, and we are going to add or dissolve a specific amount or quantity of sample in 25 ml of distilled water in sample Nessler cylinder. Okay, now after this, in the standard Nessler cylinder, we are going to add 25 ml of distilled water to make the media, make it dilute. Okay, and after that we are going to add 2 ml of 20% weight by volume of citric acid to both of the Nessler cylinder, and then we are going to add 0.1 ml of thioglycolic acid in both Nessler cylinder. Okay, and then we are going to make solution alkaline by adding ammonia, and we are going to check it with litmus paper. Okay, to confirm whether the media has become alkaline or solution has become alkaline or not. Okay, and then we are going to dilute it to 50 ml with distilled water. Okay, till mark, and then we are going to leave it for, or we are going to allow it to stand for few minutes. As a result, pink purple color will be developed in a standard Nessler cylinder, which is called a standard color, and pink purple color produced in sample Nessler cylinder, which is called as sample color, and both these colors are going to be compared. Okay, so whatever we have understood under procedure section, we are going to write in a tabular form for our exam purpose. Okay, and we are going to make two column, one is a standard and another is sample, and whatever point we have understood we will write step by step, and we will finally get like this. Now coming to results. Okay, so if sample color produced is less than that of a standard color, then the sample will pass the limit test for iron. Okay, and if sample color produced is more than that of a standard color, then the sample will fail the limit test for iron. Okay, so this is all about limit test for iron. With this we came to the end of this lecture. Thank you for watching us. Kindly like our video and subscribe our channel, and if you have any feedback, kindly provide under comment section. Okay, and certainly we will come with new lecture. Thank you very much.